I don't love this angle of filming, but it's all I can do right now. I really need to get one of those like mini tripods. I only have a full length one, which is not really gonna work when I want to put this on my desk here. Anyway, welcome back to another video, guys. If you don't already know me, my name is Anne and I am a polyglot as well as an avid traveler. On this channel, I post whatever I want, really. But of course, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok for more language and travel related content. So if you didn't know, I actually grew up in Hong Kong, lived there for 18 years before coming over to Toronto, Canada. And so I'm making this video because I think it can be kind of helpful for those of you who are moving to Toronto for the first time, especially if you're coming from a country where the winter weather is very, very different. As someone from Hong Kong, I do find the winters here in Toronto to be kind of brutal. Very, very cold, much colder than what I am used to back in Hong Kong. Like, it goes without saying that you should dress warmly. It goes without saying that you should put on multiple layers. But what exactly do those layers look like?
Since temperatures are starting to drop, I think I'm gonna need a second layer. Can we do one more layer? Okay, maybe another layer. Okay, so like maybe one last layers and we should be good on layers.
So one of my favorites to, I don't know how to say it in English, but in Cantonese it's like da dai, kind of like as a base layer. What you can actually wear is like these heat tech clothing, which are available from Uniqlo. I love Uniqlo, but yeah, so heat tech basically helps you to stay warm during cold weathers, and you can wear these as like base layers underneath your normal clothing. So obviously here I have a pair of like heat tech leggings. I also have a lot of heat tech shirts. So the shirts come like this. You can have long sleeves, and there are multiple colors as well, which I can show you guys, but there are long sleeves as well as short sleeves for heat tech. They're very, very thin, but surprisingly, they actually do help to retain heat a lot during the winter. Very useful. You just have to pop them under whatever your regular clothing is, and it makes a world of a difference. Even so, if you tuck them like in your pants, yeah, I can show you some other colors. There's this pale green one, for example. I also have brown here. A lot of them are long sleeves because, like I said, I do find the winters here in Toronto to be very cold. I even have pink, as you can see. Basically, what I'm trying to show you is that there are a lot of color options when it comes to heat tech from Uniqlo. On the days that are a little bit colder, you can opt for basically kind of like fleece leggings. Again, you can wear these under your normal jeans or pants that you wear, and they're gonna help retain heat. These are a great option as well, these kind of fleece leggings to wear under your normal pants just to help stay warm, especially if you're gonna be outside a lot. But if you're sometimes lazy like me, what you can also buy is pants that already have fleece inside. So this is a pair of black fleece pants, I guess, that I own. I don't know how clearly you can see in the video, but the inside is basically already kind of like fluffy and fleecy. So you can just wear this by itself and they're much warmer than normal pants. I have a few pairs, but this is another one of my favorites because it actually looks like jeans, right? But I think this one is clearer. You can see inside is like this. I just really wear like this pair a lot and the black pair a lot because these can basically go with anything, like 乜嘢都襯. When it comes to footwear, it is very, very important that you find at least 1 or 2 pairs of good winter boots. What does that mean? First of all, they have to be warm. This is the winter boots that like I wear the most often. So as you can see, there's some fur here, which definitely helps with the warmth aspect. But you also want to make sure that these boots have good tread, right? Because over here, it gets so cold that like sometimes after it snows or rains, it freezes over and then the roads are like super icy. And even when you're walking down the streets, like you can slip because it's so icy. See how that's all iced over? And so you want to make sure that the bottom has really good tread so that there's more friction and it's like less likely for you to slip. But in addition to that, what I also like to do is and I'm gonna find out like what this is called, and then I'll put like the Amazon link in the description box below because I find this super useful. I've actually added this like thing again, I don't know what it's called, but I've added this thing at the bottom of my winter boots, and as you can see, basically there's kind of like spikes, right? And this is even more useful for when you have to walk on the ice, because like this basically helps kind of like smash the ice a little bit, and so you're less likely to slip and fall. I will find out what this is called, and then I will put the Amazon link in the description box below, just because this is something that I do find super useful. Like honestly, any products that I mentioned in this video, if I can find the links, like Amazon links and stuff to it, like I will put them all in the description box below if you guys are interested in checking any of these things out. When I was younger and growing up in Hong Kong, I honestly didn't think that scarves made a huge difference during the colder temperatures back home in Hong Kong, just because like it wasn't even that cold, especially compared to here in Toronto. But ever since moving here, I've noticed that scarves actually really do make a huge difference, especially when you're walking outside. Okay, now the types of scarves that you should wear in the winter, like honestly these types where they're like really thin and you would wear just more for like the fashion or aesthetic, not the best option for if you actually want to stay warm during the winter and not suffer. So what you should opt for is maybe like thicker scarves like these. Like this is kind of more like woolly, I guess, and like fluffy material, and this works much better. Okay, so nice thick scarf like this, right? This one is, like I said, kind of more like woolly. Also, I like the colors, so. Okay, what about winter coats? It is very important that you find at least 1 or 2 good winter coats if you want to survive winters here in Canada. One of the most popular brands when it comes to winter coats here is Canada Goose, but the one that I use personally is Aigle, right here. And I really like it because first of all, it's thick, it's Gore-Tex, meaning that it's great even for when it rains, right? Especially when you get into those like freezing rain conditions. It's thick, it's Gore-Tex, so water resistant. It's also wind resistant. So I honestly don't have to layer up that much if I'm going out with this. It is bulky and I guess like not the cheapest, but it's definitely worth the price because you will be using this winter after winter. Another issue that you can face here during the Canadian winters, just because it gets so dry and frigid, is that your skin also really dries out and starts getting flaky. So what products I use during the winter to keep my skin hydrated and not flaky and ugly are the following. So first of all, this is Garnier Skin Active HA Aloe. I don't know how to say hyaluronic. I just abbreviate as HA, but HA Aloe, and this is basically the repumping serum. I don't know if this is gonna do, there we go, kind of. It keeps focusing in and out. I use this only during the night. I find that I don't need it during the day. But at night before I go to sleep, I first use this, and then I follow that with this cream here. So this cream, if it will focus, is from e.l.f. It is the Holy Hydration Face Cream. Now, although the package is small, I find that you actually only need a little bit. You actually don't need to smear that much on your face, because if you use too much, it actually like feels too thick, and then for me personally, I just start to sweat and I don't like that, right? So especially if I'm using this first at night, I really don't need to use much of this at all, meaning that this small container still lasts for a long time. During the day, like I said, I don't use this. I only use this in the morning. If I have to like put makeup on during the day to go out in the afternoon or whatever, I basically just use sunscreen. The sunscreen I use is this one, Neutrogena, all right? It has 60 SPF. Even during the winter, sunscreen is still really, really important, because when it snows, if it is sunny, all of that UV is reflected off the snow, okay? So you still need to wear sunscreen during the winters here. But yeah, like I said, the one I use is Neutrogena. It's Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Sunscreen with an SPF of 60. As I mentioned earlier, all of these products will be in the description box below in the form of Amazon links. Once a week, I also do like face masks. I actually bought this package from Amazon as well. And there's like different types of masks in here. I only have like 3 left, but they're all different. So this one here contains HA acid. Again, I cannot pronounce this. Ugh. But yeah, it contains HA acid. This one is collagen. And this one is retinol. You can find this exact same package in one of the Amazon links down below. Like everything's gonna be in the description box. So hello everybody. So today's actually not cold at all, especially when it comes to winter. It is 12 degrees Celsius and that's really warm. And so I actually have like a lighter down jacket on, not the Aigle, because I think I would be way too warm in that. But now that I'm actually in the car, it reminds me of something else that I should tell you guys about. If you live in a house with a driveway, every winter you will have to put up with shoveling snow. And I know when I say it like that, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but sometimes when there's a lot of snow, it's really heavy and it can take literally hours to clear your driveway. And it's important that you do it because otherwise how are you going to get your car out, right? And you want to make sure you shovel your driveway well, because if you don't, then everything ices over when things reach below freezing point. But other than having to shovel out your driveway, you will also have to take care of your car. So what exactly do I mean by this? Well, if you leave your car outside, so in my case, I actually cannot park my car indoors. I have to leave my car outside on the driveway. And so every winter, especially after like a heavy snowfall, I come out and there's like snow all over my car. And so you actually have to brush all the snow off, and sometimes ice forms on the windows too. And so you actually have to scrape the ice off as well. So let me show you guys like this winter brush here, right? So obviously you use this side to get all the snow off your car, and then on the other end of it is basically this, and you use this to scrape the ice off. One thing that you must know, so obviously you got to get all the snow and ice off your windows so that you can see, even like your blind spot mirrors like these, you have to take care of, obviously. But all the snow that ends up on the top of your car, you have to get rid of that too, okay? And you really do not want to make this mistake, because if you don't get rid of all the snow on top of your car, the snow can like fall onto your windshield. Okay, it can fall here on your windshield. And if the snow is heavy enough, your windshield wipers will not be able to swipe away all the snow. And that's a really big problem. Like, what if you're already on the highway and then all the snow decides to fall on your windshield? It's just gonna be chaotic. It's also very, very dangerous. Okay, so do not make that mistake. You must get rid of all the snow that falls on top of your car as well. But yeah, today the weather's a little bit gross. As you can see, a lot of the snow has melted away, but what we have now is just kind of this like leftover really wet slush. It's not very nice to walk through, to be honest. Whew, actually got a little bit too warm there, so I had to take off my down jacket. This is just gonna be me ranting because I'm actually just sitting here waiting to go to like a student's house. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a private music teacher, and I also have like a music channel as well as music social media accounts. All of the information is gonna be on the screen here somewhere if you want to check them out. But anyway, so this is just gonna be me ranting a little bit. Basically, I've had a lot of bad luck recently when it comes to my credit cards. Like, this is so annoying. On December 24th, literally Christmas Eve, I got like an early Christmas present. But on Christmas Eve, I noticed that my MasterCard was basically hacked and somebody had racked up like more than 1,000 Canadian dollars on this credit card. And so I had to try to deal with that over the holiday season, which is fantastic. That got resolved and they actually sent me a new MasterCard. But I noticed that I wasn't able to make any transactions on my new MasterCard. And so I had to call them back, and there was a security hold on my MasterCard, which I then had to resolve over the course of a couple of days. Not only that, but my other credit card, my Visa, also had a security hold on it. I was trying to make a legit transaction, but it got flagged as fraud. And I didn't receive any notification about it, so I didn't really know until I had to try to use it again. And at this point, it's a problem because my new MasterCard is on security hold, and then now my Visa is not working. So basically at this point, I have no working credit card. But it's a good thing I always have cash. But still, what an inconvenience, especially since like on these two cards, I have several like monthly recurring payments and they were all declined. Make sure you always have cash, okay? Very, very important in emergencies. And then also there's been like a couple of times here in Canada where like a major network has just basically not works. Like the two really big major networks here in Toronto at least are Rogers and Bell. There have been 2 times where like these have had outages, and things like electronic payments, credit cards, like they stopped working. Even like paying for parking, not working, which is good for people who actually have to park on a regular basis in the city. But otherwise, like trying to pay for gas with credit card, not working. Trying to pay for groceries with credit card, not working, right? So when these things occur, it's very important that you have cash on hand, just in case. You never know. Oh my gosh, so as you can see, now it is evening. The temperature has dropped to 8 degrees Celsius, which normally wouldn't be that bad, except it's so freaking windy outside, and that really makes it feel a lot colder than just 8 degrees Celsius. Oh, good thing I'm going home now, but when I take my dog out for a walk later, I'm definitely gonna switch back to the Aigle down jacket because it's a lot warmer and also longer. The down jacket that I have on right now only goes like to my waist basically, but the Aigle one goes like down to my knees. It's super dark. I don't know how much you guys can see, but I'm walking my dog right now at night and we have sleet. So there's a lot of rain. So much sleet just now. Look how soaked. Junie. My dog's all wet too now. Junie. But thank you so much everybody for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!